Yeah, why are you single?
Oh. And then we'll go.
Okay, all right.
Instantly popped her balloon at being asked why she's single. Women can't stand accountability.
Why is that a popping question?
Even the girl that is hosting this is like, ladies, come on, you're making us all look bad. What is wrong with you? You know, one of the reasons I like this show is because it's so simplistic. The balloon is popped or it's not popped, and once it's popped, there's no going back, which you think would necessitate some sort of cogent, thoughtful reason as to why you'd pop the balloon and forego being able to date the person. And that's exactly what you find when the men are the ones popping the balloon. And I just recorded a video on that. You guys should go check it out because it's really interesting. But this video is about the women popping the balloon. And what you find is the women are looking to disqualify, aka pop the balloon, unlike the men. Because the men, maybe the men are just a lot less picky, maybe it's their psychology, maybe it's their biology. We know men are obviously a lot more thirsty than women are. But unlike the men, women tend to be popping the balloon for surface level emotional triggers relating to feminist ideology. And in many cases, as I'm about to show you, this results in them losing out on a guy that they themselves admit in words is literally the perfect guy they are looking for in every single category. But just because of the way he phrased a statement, and that statement or question could be interpreted as going against an ideology in some sort of really twisted interpretation, they immediately pop the balloon. And this is, I think, the reason why we see so many women today that are single and miserable as a result of being single, and they're saying that they're miserable, that they're looking for a guy, and even though they're on a dating show looking for a guy, they still repeat the same behavior that is the reason they're in the situation that they're in. A lot of these women are in their early 30s, mid 30s, right at the point where they're about to pass the wall of not being able to have a family anymore, not being able to have kids. And for the boss queens or effeminate men, let's just call them leftists because that's what they are, they might think, oh my gosh, well, having children isn't the meaning of life. First of all, you're wrong. But second of all, many of these women that end up popping their balloons for feminist ideology say that they're trying to have kids and that they want a family and that next 2 years they want to be a homeowner, get married, and have kids because they're right at the wall. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. So this guy walks on. Immediately, almost all the women like him.
Hello, welcome. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Jeremy.
Jeremy, how old are you?
I'm 34.
And what do you do?
I'm an operations manager for a global logistics company.
Okay,
So solid career. He's right at the age range of a lot of the women on the panel as well.
very cool. What are some things you like to do for fun?
I'm a musician. I'm a writer, a songwriter.
Okay.
I'll just say the variables that women are actually caring about. He's tall, he's stable, he's above them socioeconomically, so they're able to look up at him in multiple domains, therefore fulfilling their hypergamy, which is what they're all thinking about, even if subconsciously.
A poet, author, and coach.
Very nice. Now, what are some things you look for in a woman?
Poet, author, and coach. He's got it all, right?
Honest women.
Okay.
That's number one. Hard to find these days. A woman that has a
So
relationship.
he's talking about his standards now. Pay close attention because this is going to come into play later in a very interesting way.
A woman that has a relationship with her spiritual father.
Okay.
A woman who's religious.
And my interpretation of that is God. A woman that knows what she wants and that's focused on her goals.
A woman who's decisive and not confused.
Okay. Now, what are some of your deal breakers?
Deal breakers are lack of accountability.
This is going to be extremely. This is the funny part. Remember that he said lack of accountability.
Women that don't communicate with men well.
Lack of accountability and not able to communicate with men well. Now, at the end of this episode, all but one of the women pop their balloon. The most attractive woman does not pop her balloon, and she ends up leaving with him. So perfectly fulfilling the archetype, women shoot themselves in the foot for their emotional allegiance to an ideology which does not serve them and is degrading society. They instantly face the consequences of not getting the guy that they want and admit that they want. And the guy leaves with the most attractive woman there. Let's fast forward to when they pop their balloons.
We have no pop balloons, so you're doing well. And I am going to have you pop 2 balloons.
Old overweight girl. Old girl.
All right. Let's start with the first one you ended up popping.
This girl is a 3. She apparently does hair and makeup, and you can't make this up. Her brain is so far from working that when confronted about why she didn't pop her balloon and then she got rejected, she couldn't even handle that.
My name is Miriam and I'm 34.
And Miriam, why did you have your balloon unpopped?
I don't know, honestly.
Okay.
I think I was zoned out.
Oh.
I was zoned out. Oh, I just got rejected.
I was no, seriously. I think
Bro, she's actually a 3.
I just wanted to hear more, but I also couldn't hear him as much. But
So is he
Guys, BBLs are not good. Do not get them. They're not attractive. This is case in point.
someone that is your type?
No.
Okay, what makes him not your type?
He's too slim, and just I think the hair. I just don't feel like braids is like something for.
Bruh. This guy's up here and you're down here. You didn't have a chance, but you had your balloon unpopped because you wanted him.
Older guy, and I'm an appearance person. I think it was like your bottom teeth, and I'm just big on teeth as well.
Compare this to the video I did where the men talked about what they didn't find attractive in women. Women will make up random things. There's literally nothing wrong with his teeth.
So
I know you ended up popping her balloon. Why'd you end up popping hers?
Not really my type. It seems, I mean, you're 34. I didn't see that, but I thought she was a little bit older, and so that's kind of why I popped. But
Okay, so for the next round, you can go ahead and ask a question now.
cool. Do any of you have children?
This is like a very, very baseline question, dude. And the fact that you have to ask this demonstrates the overall average value of the dating market pool. The fact that women think that they can have kids and then get a high quality guy, but not even like an average guy, which is still, in my opinion, way out of their league if you have kids, because you should be in the clearance section. You should be half off if you have kids and are trying to date a guy from scratch. But these women think that they deserve like millionaires, like men earning 6 figures a month. Meanwhile, they have like 2 kids from 2 different like fathers. And I will say it's especially common in a certain community, although it is a problem across the board, as you see on podcasts like Fresh and Fit. These women think they deserve men in the very top echelon because feminism, the ideology of the left, has ravaged their ability to objectively connect with the world by doing 2 things. Demonizing masculinity, which is essentially just a sophisticated apparatus for making sense of the world that women get to have access to by having men in their lives. And 2, by the leftist ideology insisting that anything that is objective and rational is therefore oppressive. Because think about it, rationality discriminates between things that make sense and don't make sense. And so between those 2 things, you know, these women are left with basically no way to tether themselves to reality, end up saying things that make no sense and believing that while they have kids, they deserve guys that are like 6'4", make $1 million a year.
Okay, I think we have one down there.
Okay.
Or
How many children?
Okay, let's go down there.
Bro, he's essentially shopping at like, I mean, TJ Maxx at this point.
Okay, let's start with your name and age.
Briante, 27.
In my opinion, she is probably the hottest girl on the panel, but the fact that she has a kid like bumps her down from a 7 to a 3
Okay, and then I think he wanted to
or 2.
How many kids do you have?
1.
One. Okay. I was asking because that's kind of my limit. Like,
Oh, okay.
I appreciate
Just
the
one.
honesty.
Bro, this guy.
Okay, so it's not a deal breaker.
No, it's not a deal breaker. Yeah, one is my.
Look, she's surprised by that because she knows that a guy of this caliber will almost never accept that, so she is surprised.
Okay, so
Got it.
I appreciate
Alright.
And she
that.
does want him. That's the reason she hasn't popped her balloon yet.
Took back. Okay, so we only have one that has a child. Any other questions?
Second question in. Remember what he just said about women that can't take responsibility and are not able to communicate with men.
Yeah. Why are you single?
Oh.
Instantly popped her balloon at being asked why she's single. Women can't stand accountability. Even the reminder that they exist in an objective universe which judges them and doesn't cater to whatever incoherent, chaotic ideology that they affiliate themselves based on whatever hormonal dimension they're existing in hour to hour. Oh my gosh, it's untenable. He asked a question that reminds me I live in an objective world that judges me. Also, unlike the video with men popping the balloons, women are followers, meaning they all pop the balloon at the same time, and it's an emotional event. The loud sound of the balloon popping, literally, I'm being serious. This is, when you're ruled by emotion, you can essentially be manipulated in almost an animalistic way. And so as soon as women hear the balloon popping, they think to themselves, oh, this is the time where I'm supposed to pop my balloon. And if I pop my balloon, then I can be indignant and I can be a good person just like the other girl that popped her balloon. And so they're followers, not leaders. This is the reason why it's so easy to corral them like sheep to vote for, I don't know, someone who says that they want to seize patents from companies and create an unrealized gains tax of 25% that would cripple the global economy. But never mind that. That's all logic and rationality.
Okay, we'll still ask, and then we'll go.
Okay. All right.
Why is that a popping question?
Even the girl that is hosting this is like, ladies, come on, you're making us all look bad. What is wrong with you?
You know
It's the
what?
truth.
Let's start here then. Your name and age, and why are you single?
My name is Misha, and I'm 27.
Bro, those 2 girls over there are now uncomfortable, the ones all the way to the left. See, women make decisions based on emotion, but they can't go back from it because they already popped their balloon. This is what Andrew Tate talks about. This is what Fresh and Fit talk about. This is what every single guy with experience in the red pill space talks about, where Women are not good at making decisions because they make rash decisions. Pearl, who has interviewed at this point over 1,000 girls, says the number one most common thing women do when leaving a relationship is have no good reason for leaving the relationship. Oh, I just outgrew him. Oh, we just didn't vibe anymore. Meanwhile, they're leaving a marriage where they have 2 kids and like their husband is working hard to provide every single day. One day I'm just gonna, just take half his stuff, the kids, and, move on. I'm 39. And then Pearl asks them, so, did he abuse you? No. Did he mistreat you? No. Did he yell at you ever? No. I just outgrew him. Women make decisions emotionally. This is the reason why since the beginning of time, every single society in the world has had to protect them from themselves. Why the father is the one who chooses their lifelong partner, because women can't make these decisions very well. Case in point, and I'm totally fine with this, by the way, I'm not complaining, that in the modern day and age, we have every single woman chasing the top 5% of men because they've been psyoped by social media. Now, I completely buy into Andrew Tate's solution for this and Fresh and Fit's solution to this, which is you have to become the exceptional guy. Men, we adapt to the situation. So I want to be very clear. I'm not complaining about this. I'm simply pointing out that this is actually not served women, because now we have record high divorce rates, proven scientific studies showing that 50% of women by the year 2030 are going to be single and childless. That is a record high since the beginning of time, and it's because all women are chasing this top 5% of men, which can never, of course, give them loyalty because there's way too many women to the ratio of men. Oh my god, but I gotta go to Turks and Caicos. He has to spend $10,000 a night on me because I'm 34. You think that's a joke, but women actually believe stuff like that. Again, for the reasons I described earlier, they've been psyoped into rejecting objective reality because it's too oppressive and offensive.
The reason that I'm single is because I have done a really good job of figuring out what I like.
This is such a clown show. The reason I'm single and 34 is because I've done such a good job. You see what I mean? They're required to say the opposite of reality. They're required to invert truth because truth actually judges them too harshly and is oppression. As soon as they admit that truth is objective, that she has failed and she hasn't succeeded, that she hasn't done a good job, and that she just said the opposite of the truth, then she has to admit that everything she tells herself on a day-to-day basis to cope with her failure is also a lie. But she doesn't have the infrastructure to do that. Because again, she's demonized rationality in accordance with the ideology of the left. Guys, if it sounds like I'm talking Latin here, that's because I've studied this and you haven't. You need to invest in actually understanding the objective landscape of the world, and you should do that by subscribing to this channel.
And I feel like I'm at the age right now where I can date, and I do know what I want.
Now, obviously, Fresh and Fit could, rip this girl apart for 35 minutes. But I'll do the 15-second version. She wants to settle down after she's used up and old. And like most classically narcissistic females possessed by feminism, she has no regard for what men want. And she also has no regard for what reality is. Because if she had any grasp of those two things, then she would know that she has no chance of getting what she wants, considering that she doesn't meet men's standards. And you have to be delusional to think that you're in any place to bargain when you're 34, way less attractive than you were when you're 24, and already been used up and passed around. We'd rather date 22-year-olds. This is the reason why that girl was offended when he said, oh, I thought you looked older at the beginning of the video.
I thought she was a little bit older, and so...
You remember her face?
I think my earlier years, I was having fun, figuring out everything, and now...
Right, on your earlier years, you were doing things on your terms, but now you think things should also be on your terms when the men have the leverage and you don't have the leverage. Sorry, again, we'd rather not put up with all your baggage, not have a woman that already has immense mileage on her, and for the effeminate beta freak men that are like, oh my gosh, but you should wife boss queens up that are 35 and have 4 kids. Think about what you're saying. You're saying that you would rather dedicate your life and resources to a woman who is 34, starting at 34 years old, rather than a woman who's 24. So you have 10 less years of her beauty to enjoy. That's what you're saying. And again, that's only to the fringe freaks who would say stuff like that, probably less than 5%. Most men, of course, know what I'm saying is true instinctually.
It's like kind of all keen in, I'm focused, I know what I want at this point.
You have one more unpopped. And why are you single?
I think I'm single because...
Dude, look at how insecure these girls are. They know that he's now talking to the hottest girl on the panel and that her balloon is not popped, meaning that they failed again on another layer of analysis because of their emotionality. And they're uncomfortable at the fact that they're being judged by that. Every single second that they're standing here, they're reminded that they made the wrong decision. Think about it. They had their balloons unpopped for the entire time because they found him attractive, and then as soon as he phrased a question incorrectly in their head, not in reality, but in their head, oh my gosh, no, I came to this show to find a partner, but he said words that reminded me of how I'm wrong. You have no idea how screwed most modern women are, bro. You have no idea. They're so fucked. They're so psychologically manipulated by the culture. This is the reason why by 2030, 50% of them are going to be single and childless. There's literally going to be a tsunami wave of women by the time I'm 50 years old that are so resentful and blaming men for every single failure they've ever conducted because they spent a lifetime denying accountability.
And yeah, I think I'm gonna go out of my
elements. So,
Bro, she's so attracted to him. Again, W for him.
So we did get a few pops when you asked why are you single. Let's start right here. Your name and age and why you ended up popping.
hi, I'm Zola Stone. I'm 31, and
30s.
I popped just because I don't know.
First of all, her answer is, I don't know why I literally gave up on the potential for having a good life. Anyway, I forgot. But also, she's an exotic dancer. Exotic dancer. That's her profession.
I'm single because
Oh, that's so perfect. Guys, watch that again.
I don't know.
Why'd you pop your balloon? I don't know. I guess I'm single because, like, bruh.
31, and I popped just because I don't know. I'm single because
Dude, modern women are so...
just being in the entertainment industry is it's just tough. You know, I'm a recording artist, and then I'm an exotic dancer on the side. Not a main thing. Kind of too old. My body hurts at this point. So it's not.
Think of how sad this is. Think of how disappointed all these women's grandmothers would be in them if they could see this. Anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna date you because I'm an exotic dancer and my body hurts. So yeah, I'm gonna give up on having kids. Like, you couldn't write this stuff in an SNL skit. This is only possible as a result of an ideology that is thoroughly counter to all objective coherence and truth.
You probably won't like that. So
Okay. So you popped because you think he wouldn't like it.
Dude, this girl is still trying to make sense of why she popped the balloon. It's so great.
it just like reminded me like just dating in the industry is so tough.
It just reminded me of emotional thought I had, and so I made an irrational decision immediately, but I can't even remember why. Anyway, yeah, I'm still single and in my 30s.
I don't know.
Perfect.
So, all right. Name and age and why you ended up popping your balloon.
Hi, I'm Shayna and I'm 30.
This one's taking the cake.
You are handsome. You are definitely my type. I just did not like the question. I feel like when
She's single! Dude, do these women ever ask themselves, why are they single? Anyway, you're exactly what I'm looking for, but yeah, you said a question that reminded me of how I failed, so I fucked myself even further.
men ask that sometimes, they're trying to find something wrong.
Right, when men ask certain questions like that, they're trying to figure out what mistakes I've made, but I'm a perfect goddess. I've never made mistakes because I'm a boss queen. And to even assume that I've made a mistake is oppressive, toxic, and patriarchal of you. How could you possibly try to exercise frameworks, standards, or even accountability on me? What are you? My father? I don't know who that is.
And I'm single because I'm single. I haven't met the person. I just didn't like the question.
I just didn't like the question. It reminded me of why I'm single. Remember what he said about avoiding accountability at the very start? He's going to ask her, so basically, why are you single?
My rebuttal to that is I was more so asking to see if there was any accountability or self-evaluation that you were like willing to present in this conversation. Any vulnerability.
Bro, this is essentially like someone fails a test, goes to the front of the classroom and says, hey, I just failed this test. And the teacher's like, well, the purpose of the test was to see if you would fail it or not. Anyway, yeah, you failed. She literally removed herself from potentially being able to date him because she couldn't take accountability. And even the thought of taking accountability was way too offensive to her. This is actually the state of most modern women. Understand this.
He was willing to give me in this small space. But I can see how that can become like or seem aggressive.
And I'm a very accountable person.
Yeah.
And she says that she's accountable after rationally popping her balloon because she couldn't even approach the idea, the thought of taking accountability.
Every relationship that I've been in, I've always taken the time to kind of step back and see areas that I can improve.
Then you failed, because if you had done that, you would not have had that behavior that you just exhibited. You think your grandmother at the age of, what is it, like 35? If she was still single at the age of 35, would think of herself as some sort of like goddess boss queen deserving of like the best man possible, she should be thanking the heavens that she even has a potential shot at dating a guy of this caliber. Again, clearance section.
But it just didn't work out. You know, I just didn't like the question, but I do appreciate
Depreciated asset, and she's acting as if she has the leverage. Modern women are destroyed. Their ideology, guys, their ideology separates them from objective reality, and this is the reason they're destroyed.
you
Fair
know,
enough.
and you're very handsome, so yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. And now is she someone that's your type?
Yeah, generally. She has a great smile. Seems like she's authentic and genuine.
Bro, he's literally like, yeah, I mean, you could have had a date, but I guess you're not going to get one because you failed for no reason. Anyway, yeah, that was weird, but Okay.
So yeah, I would say so. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, name and age and what.
And the thing is after this, women will blame the men for the reason they're single. They will never blame themselves, even after they do something that makes no sense and then admit that it makes no sense. And then immediately regret it, and they still won't blame themselves. They still won't take accountability, which is the reason why this guy's statement of, I need women to take accountability, is so important.
I ended up popping.
I'm JoJo and I'm 30. So I popped. I don't think it's a bad question, but I don't necessarily like the question either.
Yeah, anyway, I popped the balloon because an emotional trigger went off in my head when I heard a loud noise, and I was just like, oh my gosh, animal instinct, pop the balloon. Anyway, I'm single still,
It definitely gave me like to see like, is there something wrong with me, which is why I'm single.
Even the thought that there could be something wrong with her, that she's not perfect, was too much for this female psyche. You see what's going on in front of you?
Because I feel like that's kind of...
Guys, no one else is bringing you this type of analysis. Subscribe to the channel, bro. Subscribe to the channel.
what most men get at, because I have heard that question before. I don't think it was a bad question. It's just, yeah, it was that. Otherwise...
I don't think it was a bad question. I don't even know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
So is he someone that is your type apart from that question?
I like his height and complexion. You look nice.
Yeah, anyway, I would go on a date with you, except I screwed myself for no reason.
Thank you.
And now is she someone that's your type?
Yeah. Yeah. She's beautiful.
50% single and childless by the year 2030.
Okay, why did we end up popping?
I ended up popping my balloon just because
Dude, the 34-year-old that thinks that she's a winner boss queen as a result of wasting her 20s and that she's done everything right, popped her balloon, is going to remain single. By the way, this might be a good time for me to mention that it is a scientific fact that has been established and studied over decades that the most miserable sect of the population are single and childless women. They account for the highest number of people on antidepressants. Single childless women specifically between the ages of 35 and 50.
the connection. I did want to actually get to hear you and know more stuff, but at the end, I just wasn't feeling the...
Anyway, fast forward to the end where he leaves with the hottest girl, exercising options and consequences on all the degeneracy.
Like your significant other's family, and are you actually do you interact, or you just sit there and...
I'm the uncle with the slides on at the barbecue.
Okay. Okay.
She says say less. Okay.
Bro, she's so feminine, and all the other girls are mad about it.
Let me bring you on up. Come up. Yes, girl.
Literally the hottest one there.
Okay, so I'm really feeling the vibe. So, I have my final question if there's no others. Okay, so is it going to be a yes for you for him?
Yeah.
Oh. And is it a yes for you for her?
Absolutely.
We got a man.
Guys, your masculinity is very important because it is the only defense at the end of the day against this type of degeneracy. It allows you to not only understand the objective world, but to embody it and to correct and enforce consequences for the degeneracy that would be around you. It allows you to make a family in the image of objective reality and not the confused, degenerate chaos that possesses these women. It allows them to want to follow you. These are all the reasons why you must understand the objective world. Because as you see every single day on X, the alternative is you end up being these mentally ill deformities that can't stand men that are more impressive than you. And then you live a life of being scorned, degenerate, and feminine. I can help you understand objective reality because that's all that I care about. Subscribe to the channel.